So we were time and ready for the main event. We were time and ready. We was time and we were ready. Oh, the words didn't come out. Gunther versus Cody for the gaudy, oversized Crown Jewel Championship that's approximately the same size as a small Volkswagen Beetle. And I was not really happy or wanting them to do the champion versus champion match because I thought it would hurt somebody, one of the participants, to have to lose. And I was thinking, well, should they even put Gunther over? Because maybe that really wouldn't hurt Cody. It was some kind of, a fuck screw job thing, whatever. But I think they had a good match here, and it didn't really hurt anybody. And apparently they're not going to refer to the Crown Jewel Championship again until next October when they start promoting next year. So it was a good match, and they got away with a big match on a big show that they make money for. And
I don't think it has to be October. It could be the next show they go to, period.
But they got out of it, I guess. Do you think they got out of it?
I mean, it was a good finish, considering it was a tough match to have a finish in, I think.
Is that all you can say? Did they get out of what? Did they get out of having this match without hurting either guy when it was over with? And I think the answer is yes.
Absolutely, and even the way it was handled after the pinfall, the way Gunther left, I thought was really strong.
But again,
I'm so surprised.
I don't even know the goddamn words, and English is my first language. You might not be able to tell every once in a while, but it is. But again, the main event, but they were 2 hours and 45 minutes into the show for the start of the 7th match. It was a little slow, but this match, the crowd was already hot for it, and they knew this was the big one. So these guys could take their time. Of course, everybody else had taken their time, and also they took plenty of time in between every other match. But these guys deserved it, and it worked. And between the crowd just going batshit and singing ole, 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 ole all the time, to start this thing, all they had to do was wrestle again. It was back to kind of an old-fashioned spot show match where we can give them arm drags and arm bars, headlocks and takeovers, and the people are loving it. But then they picked it up, and when they started the heat, Gunther's an aggressive heel who lays his shit in, and Cody can sell and fight from underneath like a master. So, again, these guys are professionals, and they take pride in what they do, and everything makes sense and looks good. There's no stupid, dangerous bumps. There's no sloppy work. There's no obvious alley-oop cooperation and, help me stand up here gingerly balancing on the top rope or doing this cheerleading move I learned at Mayberry Union High. And they had a good match, and they trade their big moves, but they put spots in where they can either explain having to sell and they can't capitalize immediately for a cover, and then they get a 2 count, or, whatever. It's not just an onslaught of boom, 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 huge bumps one after another like the kids do over on the other channel with no thought to the effects of same. And to be honest, they got the "This is awesome" chant after Gunther had caught a Boston Crab and then switched it to a sleeper and almost put Cody out with a sleeper. But Cody broke it with a chin buster and hit a crossroads but couldn't cover. And they were both selling, and that's where the crowd was going, "This is awesome." After like 3 holds in a row. And this thing, Gunther doesn't rush, and he doesn't do weak shit, and he gets the most out of everything. He's not going to stand there in the corner and copy his favorite indie outlaw Japanese wrestler by chopping you 17 times as quick as he can and wouldn't break an egg. He's going to draw all the way back to the other ring post and throw something in with a follow-through and make it make noise. And that's what more is needed of in this business. He makes shit mean something, gets the most out of it, and instead of punching somebody 5 times, they all look like shit. He does it once, and it looks great. And then anyway, they went back and forth, and they get all their stuff, but there was a reason why it wouldn't work. Until finally Cody tried the super Cody cutter off the top rope, and boy, he's got balance for a guy that's running up the ropes and looking behind him. But Gunther caught him in a sleeper, and Cody rolled his weight and his momentum on over and stood on his head on Gunther's shoulders and got the 1, 2, 3. And it was a good finish because it was a fluke. It was again, that's kind of like an old NWA World Title match finish where, you've got to, the champion has to retain against the top guy in the territory, and no one just beat him. But it was a fluke. Shit, could have happened to anybody. And so they got by with having a good match. Nothing's really particularly settled. And you mentioned the aftermath when Gunther shook Cody's hand, but he also shook his finger at him. He's like, all right, give me a hand. Yeah, but next time, motherfucker, it's going to be different. And off he went. And 2 Arabian sheiks and 2 women in beekeepers' outfits, or there might have been hazmat suits, got in the ring and presented the belt that stays in Saudi Arabia. One of those women could have put it under her outfit and smuggled it out of there. They'd never know. You could probably get a couch from a furniture store underneath one of those fucking things.
I don't know, again, it's kind of heavy, that belt, maybe heavier than the couch, but that was...
If she had some system of a truss under the outfit as well, because it's the size of a circus tent.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but did you see
You could possibly even have a small bobcat underneath the women's outfits where they just have it there, they can just run it to power it up the hill.
Yeah, Susanna actually saw some of the women's matches on the pay-per-view, and she said, why are they wearing those outfits? I said, because they're in Saudi Arabia. She goes, they look kind of cool. And she's a woman, she doesn't watch wrestling. Because again, they don't wear those kind of stations. Why? I said, well, if they want to get over, they gotta show some ass. I mean, I'm not gonna get over one of these fucking bodysuits. Are you kidding me?
Well, but at the same point, you could phrase it from the standpoint of the other gender, and even if the full body outfits look cool, and it's a sexist and misogynist thing to make the girls show their skin, is it worse that the girls have to show their skin by wearing the provocative outfits to get over before an American and or English speaking and or the rest of the goddamn world audience? But they have to do that, or is it worse that to appear in public in this other place, they have to wear stuff that they don't particularly want to make the choice to wear? Is that worse?
Finally.
Question for the ages, if I say.
Well, how old do you gotta be to answer it?
I'm not exactly sure. Did you see any of the post-match stuff where Liv and Cody rode on a golf cart over through the complex to the WWE experience so they could do a little bit of a press-op with the Saudi Arabian chief of bringing American businesses desperate for money over, whatever his job title was?
Is that the exact job title, the chief of Saudi Arabian companies bringing American businesses over to make them look better?
I mean, the unofficial title, but I believe that is his role, and they did that stuff. Did you ever see any of that?
I did not see any of that. What was that on?
That was on the Peacock.
Well, see, I was watching this on real television, the way that General David Sarnoff intended.
Wait, you bought the pay-per-view?
Yes.
No, you did not for this. No, you did not. No.
So that I could have the goddamn fast-forwarding society.
If there was ever a Peacock event, it's this one. You gotta be kidding me. You bought another pay-per-view.
I'm on the couch in front of my 72-inch and 82-inch television with full on-screen fast-forward capability instead of stuck here in front of my computer with these goddamn vice-like headsets, headphones on that you got me with. My fucking ears are killing me now.
You can watch it on a TV.
Well, but it can't fast-forward the goddamn thing.
Not a
The fast-forward, no, even after the fact, the fast-forward on the cock is terrible and iffy at best. And so I get real TV so that I can get through the 20 minutes in between matches without going out of my fucking mind.
Wow.
I'll have you know.
Well, you certainly haven't gone out of your mind. You sound perfectly sane.
Well, that's exactly correct, because I've always been the sane one. It's just now that people are finding out that, Cornette's always been sane all along. It was us that was all nuts.
All right, well, that was Crown Jewel from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And fingers crossed everyone gets home safe. In one piece. I'm glad to leave. I'm glad to hit the air and get the hell out of here.
Why did they, here's another thing, I've told several pilots about this. Old Freddie Floyd, the pilot that Crockett had, and several people I've come in contact with. Why do they make the terminology so foreboding for people who don't like to fly? In a short time, we'll have you at your final destination. We'll be on the ground soon, heading for the terminal. Terminal?
What the terminal? Not heading towards terminal.
What about instead of saying, we're going to take you to your final destination, how about we're going to drop you off where you want to go?
It doesn't sound too official.
Well, it sounds a little bit easier to take, though.
Thank you for flying. We're going to drop you off where we're ready to go in just a few minutes. Once we don't do any of the things we normally say here.
Yeah, well, you scare people that way. It's very nerve-wracking.
Do you know what the summer heat did to your roof?